Hi guys, welcome to Mohit UPSC vlog, and I welcome you all to the third session of the day. And in this session, I'm going to study current affairs, today's current affairs. So let me tell you how I study the current affairs. So I study it from the Byju's daily website, that is providing free daily current affair analysis. So I read that, and on monthly basis I read their magazine. So in that way, my current affair is uh, completed comprehensively. I don't need to read any newspaper or something because I don't have access to the newspaper here in my village, and I don't like digital mode of the newspaper, so I don't read newspaper. And I found that it's not necessary to read newspaper. In this way, I can complete my current affair very comprehensively, and I don't need to make any daily notes or something. So this I like this way of preparing current affair. If you also like, so let me know in the comment and join join me in this session and open the link of their website and start studying with me. I will explain some topics which you may feel difficult to understand. So let's 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 start this session. Okay, guys. I hope it is visible to you. So let's start the session. We will directly go to the topics. Now let's go. Okay. So in GS1 there is nothing for today. Then we come to GS2. So the first topic is related to international relations. So let's read this. So this article is about Israel-Palestine conflict. So if you are following current affairs, you might be knowing that this conflict is going on between Israel and the Palestinian and Hamas, the Palestinian rebel group, have attacked Israel with missile attack. So Israel retaliated. So it was going on a grave concern. It was a grave concern for the peace of the region. So now they have decided to, to install a ceasefire. To they they came on the ceasefire agreement. So this is it. They have written in this article. Okay, guys. So we need not to waste so much time on this article, and we should move on to next article because we have covered all the issues before also. So let's go to the next article that is related to GS3 economy. So this is related to IBC, India Banking Bankruptcy and Insolvency Code. So there was a government notification. So on that, Supreme Court has ruled in favor of government notification. In this, the financial creditors can also initiate the insolvency proceedings. So I hope you have prepared this topic already because it cannot be explained in this session because it is a long topic. So if you know the basics, you can read this article. Otherwise, if you cannot understand the article, you should know the basic mechanism of insolvency proceedings under bankruptcy and insolvency code. Okay. So in this notification, uh, the lenders can initiate insolvency proceedings against personal guarantors also. So in this article, there are details about the IBC. I think this is now a static topic. You should you should have it. You should prepare it in advance and make notes of it. So you don't need not to read it again and again when new developments comes in the article. You can just add the new points in your notes related to this article, related to the IBC section. Second article is RBI to pay 99,122 crore surplus to center. Okay. Okay, so if you know the about the RBI, so RBI has accounting year from July to June. So now RBI is changing its accounting year from April to March as we have our financial year. So it is aligning its accounting year with our financial year. So for because of that, RBI have transferred 9 months surplus July 2020 to March 2021 to the government. So RBI is a government entity. So whatever income RBI earns, some percentage of it RBI transfer to the government. That is, there is a mechanism established for the transfer of surplus. So based on the mechanism, RBI transfer this fund to the government. So this time for 9 month period, RBI has transferred 99,000 crore, but government had estimated about 50,000 crore in its budget estimate. So, so this surplus income reflects the central bank's income from its open market operation as well as receipt from foreign reserve sales. So you should know about the open market operations. Open market operations are the operations conducted by RBI to buy and sell the government securities, bond, government securities, and treasury bills at these type of instruments. So this is called the open market operation. For more information, you should revise your economy concepts. So the mechanism which I was talking about to transfer the surplus is established by Bimal Jalan Committee report. So according to that, RBI maintains a contingency risk buffer of 5.45% with it, and rest of the income RBI transfer to the government. So you can remember this fact. Economic challenges to the government, not to be sufficient. So if you know that last year our economy was not in good situation because of lockdown, 3 months there was very much shortage of revenue collection for the government. So the budget estimate, so the revenue of the previous financial year was very much affected. So this surplus can give some relief. So, but the editorial author is saying that it may give relief, but it's not enough to compensate the revenue deficit which we had because of the corona pandemic. And in the coming financial year also, we are going to face revenue deficit. The government is going to face revenue deficit because of COVID. So if you know about the budget, government has targeted about $24 billion of disinvestment target. So, but our author is saying that it is very much unlikely that government will achieve this target because of the bad situation of corona pandemic in India. Cutting public expenditure. So because of lower revenue collection, government may cut the expenditure, which will further deteriorate the situation of our economy. So government is in huge dilemma because economy is going down and revenue collections are very low and government needs money to expand money to do expenditure on the economy so that economy can revive. So government has to deal with this, and we should also think about the solutions which government should take to come out of this uh, economic crisis and the pandemic, corona pandemic crisis. GS4 related nothing for today. Editorials they have not updated till now. So prelims wait. Deep purple. So, okay, so this globally important agricultural heritage system. It was started by FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, which is a UN agency, and its headquarters are in Rome. So, in one of India's agricultural system, that is Koraput traditional agriculture of Odisha, was selected in globally important agricultural heritage system of in 2012. So they they have talked about the significance of uh, this this status because it will help to conserve the system and it will help to create awareness about the masses about the sustainable agricultural system and the environmental friendly agricultural system around the world. So it is a good sign that if any system of agriculture which comes under this status of because it FAO is a international body. So other than that, Koraput agriculture, traditional agriculture, there are two other sites which are under GIHS sites. So that are Kuttanad low sea level farming system, Kuttanad low sea level farming system of Kerala, Pembore saffron heritage of Kashmir. Okay, so these three we should remember their name. We can quote in some our mains exam also, and we can be asked in they can be given in some prelim statements also. Kuttanad below sea level farming system, Pembore saffron heritage of Kashmir, and globally important and Koraput traditional agriculture. Okay, so PVTs we have studied in recent current affair also. So in Odisha's PVTGs, corona pandemic has spread and is a cause of concern because these are very vulnerable societies and only 75 PVTGs are in India and Odisha has 13 of them and Dongariya corn is one of the PVTGs and it is living in here the Niamgiri range of Odisha. We can check out the Niamgiri. That is not working. Let's go to the next topic. And then it comes in more self-seeking. So in this article, this article is talking about our foreign external affairs minister Jaishankar's speech. He given a speech about that countries have become selfish. I may say they are seeking their self interest more, and they have become opportunistic. For example, vaccine raw material shortage and raw material ban by the US, etc., are the example of this thing. So we just to need to remember the analysis, not so this article is not so much important. So okay, so Sundarlal Bahuguna, environmentalists have passed away. If you don't know about Sundarlal Bahuguna, then you should search it once. He was related to Chipko movement in Uttarakhand. Okay, so preliminary question also has not been updated till now. So let's check it whether they have updated now or not. Niyamgiri Hills. Let's check it in map. Hmm. Okay guys, internet is not working. What shall we do? I think we shall stop here. We will do these uh, prelims questions tomorrow and the editorial section also in tomorrow's current affair. We will cover this. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining, and if you like the video, subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get information about my next session, and like my videos, share it with your friends, and thank you for joining. I hope you found this session helpful in your preparation. Thank you guys for joining.